Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video documenting my journey to Legend. I've never hit Legend before and I'm hoping to do so for the first time this season, and here is my progress so far. In this team we're rocking a Walrein, Sableye Safe Swap, and Medicham in the back. Originally this was a Swampert, Sableye, Skarmory team, but that team did abysmally for me, mostly because I am not that great with it, but I do love that team. When I was first starting out GBL, that was like my go-to team, except with a Vigoroth. I finally built a Sableye, so I was trying to use that, but it just went horribly for me. So I switched it up to this team, and this team has been doing really well for me. I have over a 70% win rate with it. I think I went either 18 and 25 or 20 and 25, so really good. This first battle I just showcased because there's a Runerigus in the lead and I hadn't seen that. But otherwise this is pretty standard. My opponent actually plays this really well. I almost end up throwing this game because I ate the Sludge Wave on my Medi. And really I should have shielded that up and maintained switch, but it doesn't really cost me too much in the end. This will be the last Open Great League video that goes up for this current week. And I will be taking a break this weekend from posting videos. There might be some shorts posting here and there, but I will be doing community day. So hopefully you're all out there also trying to get those shinies, trying to get those good Pokemon, trying to evolve any PvP worthy ones. I will finally be able to evolve my Shundo Machamp, which I'm really excited for. I don't play a lot of Master League and I doubt I'll start now, but I will at least be showcasing the Machamp at some point because I love that shiny. I know a lot of people hate the ugly green Hulk looking shiny, but I really love it. So yeah, we are met with what the hell is this fish? Whiscash. But I was debuffed already from the Sand Tomb, and so I have to swap in and make some plays. And my opponent plays this really close. I think, yeah, I mean, I played it pretty well, but I think I almost end up throwing this game. Yeah, he brings back in the Runerigus. Maybe he should have farmed down, and I'm not really sure. But we do win this battle, and I was really happy to start off strong. I think this actually is my first, or that was my first battle with this team. And here we go. Bastiodon. I think this is Grass Hole. So Bastiodon, double grass in the back. My plan around this team, or the reason I was running the Swampert Sableye Skarmory team, was to hard counter this team, but to also hopefully do well in the meta. I meet it here, and I immediately go for the Earthquake. I'm timing my moves. I know I can throw 10 Powder Snows before they reach their Stone Edge, and then I am basically gonna sack Sableye. I throw on poor alignment there. I thought for some reason they would catch. I don't know what I was thinking there, but I think I do let Sableye go. Our switch timers are, my switch timer is almost back, so I know I can swap into Medi, and I'm expecting the immediate swap. There's the Victory Bell, Shadow Vic. I do actually want to run this team. I know that a lot of people hate Grass Hole, or rather the Bastiodon, Victory Bell, Medicham team is what I want to run. And so I'm working hard using that Super Rocket Radar, trying to find these Bellsprout that I can evolve with good IVs. I managed to take out the Victory Bell, managed to just barely beat it to the Icicle Spear, and now he's going to come in with his Torterra, Shadow Torterra, another Pokemon I really do want to run. I go immediately for the Psychic because I mean, I don't know if, obviously a Pup won't take it out. I don't have Ice Punch, and I just want to get rid of it to try to get as much damage as I can on this Bastiodon. I throw on pretty good timing there, I think. And we barely managed to get this game. 2 shields up. Unintentional flex there. Just my opponent didn't let me use any of my shields. So in this match, we have a pretty favorable lead. As a Swampert, I was also running into a lot of Walrein leads, but I was running into a lot of Pelipper leads and a surprising amount of Flyers and Trevenants. And so it just wasn't going well for me. And I would swap in the Sableye, and then I would be not met with a Charmer, but just a difficult lead to come back from. Right here, we pretty much, or our safe swap is doing really well against their safe swap. Sableye can tank anything from Medicham pretty much. And I usually like to build up to the back-to-back. and then throw a foul play. I don't go for the return because it's unnecessary. And you'll see I do end up going for the return in a lot of these battles, and it costs me. I just figure return's a heavier hitting move, you know, I want to throw it and whatnot. My Medicham is actually not XL, or the one I'm running right now. I do have an XL Medi, but I haven't powered it up because... Why haven't I powered it up? Oh yeah, because Stardust is expensive. I don't want to spend like 300,000 dust, I think it is, to power up that Medicham to level 50. And I'm also not yet at level 45. I think level 45 is where you can finally power up 3 Pokemon to level 50, and it counts towards your like progress or little medal, your tasks that you have to check off. So I'm waiting for level 45. I'm basically waiting to reach level 45. And they have a Bastiodon in the back, and this is looking so beautiful. I figured they were trying to get my health down. I didn't know what was in the back. I thought it was going to be a Skarmory, but it was a Bastiodon. And yeah, this one's pretty much in the bag. I think I throw just before they reach the Stone Edge, optimize my timing. So I'm getting a little better. I think actually uploading these videos and watching them back and really analyzing my own videos is really helping with my progress. We are, I think as of recording this video, I hit 19, rank 19, I guess. And when I do hit Ace and I finally see what starting elo I'm at, I will post a post at least, since I won't be posting over the weekend. So yeah, we farmed down the Bastiodon, if I'm not mistaken. We almost farmed down the Bastiodon, they don't let me. But I knew I was going to make it, so I wasn't panicking there too much. And we're met with a tree. So this is more or less the Vic, Medi in the back kind of team, except with a Trev. And I think it does work better with the Victory Bell because you just have so much more fast move pressure. Here I'm coming in with the Wall Rain. I'm going to double shield. That's okay to me. Because I know that Medi has nothing he can threaten this nasty tree with. So I build up a little. Yep, to just before they get to their next E-Bomb. Sorry, my brain kind of farted right there. And here I make a crucial mistake. Do I go straight Psychic? No, I go for the Pup. And now I know that they can potentially catch because their switch timer is almost up. I stopped tapping to see if they would tap back, but I don't have the strongest Wi-Fi. And because I couldn't see if their counter was coming through, and because no animation was coming through anyway, I just couldn't, I couldn't make it. I couldn't time my move so that I would throw my move in between their counter. And it ended up costing me the game. I think that one came down to a connection issue rather than a skill issue, because I was for sure gonna wait to see their counter and then throw my move, but my game just stopped responding. I included this video because it was a Togedemaru, and it's kind of like a lantern lead, you know, it's resisting your icicle spears and all your ice moves, and it's taking super effective from the Earthquake. They come in with a Gligar instead of the Gliscor, so I was assuming this might be like a Gliscor Gligar back, that kind of like theme team. I come in with Walrein because I know that it doesn't have anything threatening. I can just farm this thing down. I'm going to take this next move, and I pretty much am going to rely on Medi. They come back in with the Togedemaru. I go straight for the Earthquake, hoping they don't shield, but they do. And then I come in with the Medi, and I think I shield this. Yeah, I'm expecting them to go straight for the Wild Charge. They do. And then they swap out, and they run. Maybe I should have baited here, but I also didn't want to look like a fool and not have them shield my Psychic. I know they're going to go for the Noctizuka. And I know they're going to get a debuff because as much as it says it's a 50% debuff, it's always 100% when it's you. This Psychic will still do a ton of damage though. And I'm going to go almost, yeah, okay, I do go straight for the Pup. Because I know that I can hopefully counter down. I don't know if you saw my finger there, but I was trying to swap in. Yeah, see, I was trying to swap into the Wall Ring because I thought it was going to be a Wild Charge. Actually, I don't know what the hell I thought it was going to be, but I thought that they would be able to farm me down for some reason. But yeah, that one went really, really well. Here we're met with, was this a Lantern lead? Yeah, okay, cool. I throw this game, so this is why I included it. I could have potentially won that game, but I go for the return. Why did I go for the return? I should have double foul played, and now They CMP time me, and I should have just let this go. I understand that I had all this energy and that I wanted to get my move off, but now they can farm me down, and now I won't beat Venusaur with Wall Rain to 2 Icicle Spears. So I completely screwed myself over. I had this in the bag, and I wanted to showcase this video because this would have been a Lantern lead that I could have came back from, which is like one of the weaknesses for this team. Not this team in general, but just the Wall Rain lead. And see, and then I eat that, and they bring back in the Wall Rain. I would have had a lot more health. I would have had a healthy Wall Rain. I could have Earthquaked the Lantern or their next Pokemon, which you'll see when it comes in. I do end up Earthquaking it. Right, I build up to just before the Thunderbolt. I actually didn't know if Wall Rain won CMP, so I'm really glad it did. And they have their own Wall Rain. So I could have totally had this game. I ended up throwing it because of hubris, as a lot of these games go. But again, this team did really, really well for me. I think this was one of the first sets, so I was still new to it. G-Fisk lead. I was curious to see how this would play out. I've rarely ever used Wall Rain in the lead. I think I've always used it as a safe swap, especially pre-nerf. And here I know I can tank a Rock Slide. And they try to make the catch. They try to make the catch. I normally keep building up until they're at the back-to-back. And I don't have the best response to a Pelipper. So I throw the Icicle Spear, force my opponent to show me what they want to do. And then I swap into Sableye. I know they can't reach the Hurricane, so I know I can tank this, and then I can farm down. And I'm feeling pretty good. I think that I'm in a pretty good spot. My opponent trying to catch there was, I don't know if the wrong move, but it definitely helped me out in this situation. They bring in their own Sableye. I'm glad I'm looking at it here. I throw a little before they reach their foul play to force them to make a decision. They shield, which is fine, but I am definitely going to get my next foul play off. Thank God they didn't CMP time me because I would have preferred not to have used up a shield. And then they swap back out and they throw right before my next foul play, and I'm still stuck. So I have to let this go. And then I'm going to bring Medi in and hard farm this down. And I think you'll see I make a pretty nasty catch. I'm counting to the Earthquake, and there it is. And I managed to catch it. My opponent doesn't undercharge this, or maybe they did and it still KOs me anyway. And now I'm going to throw just to boost up these pups. Yeah, see, I'm not even charging it up. I know I can take them out before they swap out. And I figure I'm up 2 shields. I might as well shield something. I don't want to flex here and get hit with a return. So very good shield. And at this point, I can just farm down the Sableye. I don't know if anybody's wondering why I'm running Pup and Psychic. I really don't know. I kind of had it on the Medi when this team was in its infancy. And it was working for me, so I was like, you know what? Screw it. It does pretty well. You'll see it go up against some flyers, and it still kind of holds its own. So I wasn't too like overly concerned about swapping it out for Ice Punch. Then I come in with Sableye. I think... No, okay, I don't shield this. I know I can... Again, there I go for the big move, the Earthquake. And this time it doesn't cost me. But in another video, you'll see that, or in another battle, you'll see that it does. They bring back in the Abomasnow. I also wasn't too sure why they swapped out. I think Abomasnow has a pretty good matchup against Wall Rain. But they swap out, and then they catch. This is a nice ass catch. I was really impressed. I was like, no way. Of course, I'm going to throw immediately because, you know, I don't want to get farmed down, or I don't want to lose all this energy. And now I'm banking it all on Medi. I'm going to force them to throw before I can reach my Earthquake. Because obviously Medicham has a really good matchup against Abomasnow. They are running Play Rough, so that's good information to know. And I'm up 2 shields to 1. And now I have to look for a catch. I have to optimize my energy, which I think I do there. I don't think I throw on the CMP tie. Oh, I do. Okay, wow, never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. I think they're going to go straight for the Play Rough. They don't. They bait me, which is great. Great on them. They go for it now, I believe. And I know this hits harder than anything Abomasnow can throw at me. So I shield it up correctly. They come in with Abomasnow, right, to throw their energy. And I think at this point I had lost track of how much energy this Abomasnow had, so I just full send a Psychic. I didn't want to be stuck in somewhere where I wouldn't have enough energy. And now I'm just hoping that I reach this Psychic before they reach their next move. And we just barely managed to get that one. I think they were receiving their energy for the Ice Punch at that point. That was a really good game. I was really, really proud of that win. This is also a strong team, so, you know, it's not really me putting my skills to the test. It just shows how strong this team is, I think. Especially in the current meta. I looked it up on PvPoke and it had pretty good standings overall. So now we have an Azu lead. This, I think, is a pretty neutral matchup. Again, I'm trying to optimize my timing so that I don't let in a free bubble, because I'm clearly weak to this thing in the back. And I'm not going to bait. I'm just going to go straight for the Earthquake. I'm hoping this will KO. And they let it through. So thank God. They come in with Medi, and I don't know why I go into Sableye. I should have just gone into Medicham, because Sableye is my hard response. But I figured their Azu was on the field, and, you know, I had taken that out. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I just saw Medi and got way too excited. This time I do bait, and it's the correct call, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Oh, no. Huh. So it's not this video. Okay, there's one where I go for the return, and they shield it. So thank God they didn't. They do end up shielding this one. And now I'm up 2 shields, and I think that I can safely let this go. I come in with Medi. Do I attempt to catch? Yeah, I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to trust in this Shaolin monk. And I'm going to attempt to farm this thing down. I do farm it down. I'm up 2 shields. I go straight for the Psychic, because I think it's going to take 2 Psychics anyway to take it out. They do let it go. Am I going for a catch? I shield this. Do they bait me? They do. And then I'm going to go for a bait of my own. Even though I don't think this was super necessary. But then after they see that, they give up. My opponent played a hell of a game. I think I played a hell of a game. And here we have another G-Fisk lead. This one plays out a little bit differently. So I still try to optimize my timings. Well, I guess in this one, it's just kind of 1-1. I do still tank the Rock Slide. I go straight for the Earthquake. They let it through, so now I'm coming in with Sableye. I know that they're going to reach 1 move, so I might as well shield. Correctly shield up the Earthquake, and they bring in an Azu. And now I think I just go straight for the return, and I think they shield it. Which, smart on them, right? Like, I mean, you're up a shield, you might as well. You're in a dominant matchup. Because they haven't thrown energy, I go for the foul play. And it's not a CMP tie, but it's like, I guess, like an offset CMP. And they go for the Ice Beam. And now because they did that, yeah, exactly. I'm going to try to farm up some more, and I do force them to throw. I wasn't planning on saving the Sableye. At this point, I was kind of banking on Medi having a lot of play in the back. Oh, this game. Okay, so they try to catch. I saw it coming. And do they shield this? They do. This should have told me that I need to save up some energy on this thing and try to catch on Medicham. Save up all this energy and catch on Medi, because I'm gonna need it. Barely managed to get the Icicle Spear, and this might have been a mistake too. Maybe I should have just like gotten out of it and punched it down as much as I could and then tanked the Shadow Ball, and yeah, it cost me. Man, that was a really winnable game. Obviously hindsight's 20/20, but I think I could have had that if I'm not the greatest at predicting what teams my opponents have in the back. So, you know, I see an Azu in the lead. I'm not exactly sure, or the Stunfisk in the lead. I'm not really prepared for like, oh, okay, they might have this in the back. They were weak to fighting, so I should have known they would have another fighting counter. But yeah, it ended up costing me. Here I catch the next Rock Slide because they shielded. So I guess 3 different people playing the matchup differently. This one's not running Pelipper, it's running Mantine. And Mantine hits a little less hard than Pelipper, so I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good here. They're building up. I'm expecting them to go straight for the Ice Beam, but you know, to me, Sableye has done his job. I really, really like Sableye. I'm so glad I built this thing up. Cost me an insane amount of dust. It's a pretty good IV1, and it's just, it comes in clutch so many times. I build up just before I assume they're going to get to a Bubble Beam, just because I don't want to be debuffed. Who do they come back in with? They come back in with the Stunfisk. I go for the Earthquake, I believe one before they reach the Rock Slide. Oh, they let it go. Cool. Okay. And now 1-in-1 shields Pelipper and Medi. I don't know how much damage an Ice Punch does to a Pelipper. So I do something that I don't normally do. I shield, obviously, because this next Weather Ball would take me out. But I bait. I don't know if I'm going to get... I don't think I was going to get to 2 moves. So I'm like, damn, I need this bait. And, oh, thank God they shielded. And I also wasn't sure if I would already have the Psychic loaded, because I think they were 1 or 2 away from their next Weather Ball. And we managed to clutch that. So one game where Ice Punch, I think, would have came in really, really handy. But Psychic gets Stab, and I think it was with the bait. It was a better choice there. This came down to very, very poor reading of my opponent. My opponent is running a Shadow Ninetales with Ember, and I thought the count to overheat was 8, but I think it's 10. I found out later. And because of that, it ended up costing me a little. They kind of saved my back right there by swapping out and not throwing any energy. But here I should have... I think I do farm up as much as I could. I don't think I misplayed this mid-game too much. But they do come back in with the Ninetales. They throw their energy immediately. I need to let Sableye go because I don't want to get farmed down. And I think here... I don't know. I'm really not sure what I could have done. Here I definitely should have swapped out faster. I should have gone straight into Walrein. Because this is going to cost me. I know my Walrein's like low on health, but now I've given them so much energy. I have to use a shield. And I have to throw because Medi can't do anything to this ghost. And they let it go. And now they have a potential overheat. So I top left. At that point, I know I threw that game. I'm not sure if it was completely winnable, but it was definitely more playable than I made it out to be. I misplayed that really, really badly. And then again, like that was the only Ninetales I saw this whole set, so I wasn't too sure what to do in the lead. As you can see, I like going for the Earthquakes, and it costs me there. I'm only going to get to another Icicle Spear. At this point, I've given the Sableye a ton of energy. I'm going to come in with my own Sableye. I know I'm going to have to eat at least one of these moves. I'm hoping that I don't have to eat the next one, but I do. They're at the back-to-back. So I shield this one. They haven't swapped out yet. Now they do. And as you see, I build up to the return because I thought I was only going to get to 1 move. But they shield it. And this should have told me that they're probably not the strongest to Sableye in the back. And that I should have shielded that and at least gotten some damage off on this Lantern. So I come in with Medi. And I make a pretty decent play here. By taking this damage. No, I make a pretty good play here by sacking my Walrein on what I believe is a Surf? Or is it? Yeah, it's a Surf. Cool. And then I need to go for the Psychic before taking any more damage because I'm not exactly sure what's in the back. And it's a Fighter. And I think here is another misplay. I was at just enough counters to get to the back-to-back Psychics before they get to the back-to-back Ice Punches. I think I needed 11 counters, and they need 12 for their Ice Punch, for their punches. 12 in total for 2 punches. And I think 2 Psychics there would have done it. I don't think. I know 2 Psychics there would have done it. And so I threw this game. That was a game I could have came back from. Aside from misplaying the mid game, like I could have played that end game a lot better. Now we have another Obama Snow lead. Obama. And I go for the Icicle Spear just before they get to their Energy Ball. Icicle Spear does a good chunk of damage. I'm not a Shadow, so... Okay, I don't do it, okay. They do me a favor by not throwing any energy, and now I'm just going to go for the return. I think they were still building up toward the Hurricane. I would have taken a Weather Ball, and the return takes them out. I love that. That was something I didn't know, and I was glad to find out in this match. They bring in the Scarm. And now I'm just going straight foul plays. I mean, obviously, but also like, you know, there's no need to waste an exorbitant amount of energy. We CMP tie here, I think, which is great. I throw the next foul play. I'm like, is this dude gonna shield or what's going on? He finally does shield. He throws his move, and at this point, it's pretty GG's, right? Like, I have Medi in the back to deal with what's left of this Skarm and the Wall Rain. Sorry, the Abomasnow. I'm gonna bring in the Wall Rain. Tanks a move. Throw just before they reach their Sky Attack, and see what they want to do with it. They correctly let it go. And then here, this is sort of for science. This isn't like disrespect. I don't know if I live in Energy Ball. No, I don't. I didn't know that. I could have sworn like maybe Walrein was bulky enough to at least survive it with like a little bit of health, but no, you get one hit KO'd, so it's good to find out. I misplayed this game, pretty poorly, at least in the lead. I'm not sure, and I'm still not sure. I don't know if anybody wants to let me know in the comments. If you survive a Brave Bird from full health. I think you do. I think. But yeah, so I misplay that. I know this is just a flame charge. And they throw it. And I thought I would survive that next... what's the move called? The next Incinerate, but I don't. So at this point I know that, or I think, that Talonflame is their fighter answer. So I come in with Medi. They come in with Lantern, which isn't the best answer, I don't think, to a Medicham. So I'm wondering what they have in the back. They throw a Surf, and then they come in with Nido. And they're reaching the Poison Fang. They're going straight for it. Nido really did get nerfed after that Poison Fang update. Or like the 6 jabs to the Poison Fang. I should have gone for the return, thinking that my opponent would let it go since Nido didn't really have a lot of play, but I also didn't want to give them too much farm on my Sableye. And at this point, like, I have Pup. I can just go straight for the Pup. And I think this is why Medi's busted with Pup. You know, as opposed to having Ice Punch. Like, Ice Punch, I would have to build up to the Ice Punch and get to the back-to-back maybe. But Pup just secures that a little more quickly in my favor. This one is, I think, a pretty hard counter team. Yeah. I think this is one of the last videos. Why did I include this? I was trying to cut these down because I know this is going to be a lengthy video. If you've stuck this far, you know, thank you guys for watching. This is really like the last video for the Open Great League, so I just wanted to make it a big video on a team that's doing really, really well for me. I'm going to try this team again today as of recording this and see how much further I can get, and hopefully upload that I've made it to the elos. Okay, so I guess it's not a super hard counter team, but this is where Pup comes in handy. I'm going to build up to the Psychic, and then I'm going to bait. And as you're going to see, it's going to cost me. But because I'm already ranking or boosting up my counter damage, I'm just going to go straight Pup at this point and punch this fish down. And now I can invest shields. I know Walrein is going to do well against Gliscor in the back. It's not going to reach an Earthquake. It threw some energy at my Sableye. And so I'm feeling pretty good about this team. And I think I just included it because Medi's so damn busted. But yeah, I had a lot of fun running this team. It's a great team. You know, I'm obviously not the first person to showcase this. I don't know who is the one that, you know, pioneered the team. But I definitely like the team. I like all the players on it. I love my Sableye that I just built up. And as of this video, we've hit rank 19. I will definitely update you guys when I hit the elo range. Have a great calm day. Catch all those shinies you guys want to catch. I hope you guys get a lot of shundos and hundos. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.